Greetings, everybody. It is Thursday night. It's not Thursday night. It's Wednesday night. It's one of the nights of the week. It's Wednesday night. It's time for another AEW Dynamite Watchalong. I'm popping on just a little bit early, as I like to do, just to do a little bit of housekeeping. Of course, coming up this Friday, baby, it is LPW number 42. Live at the Rec Room here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you cannot, tickets are available at Ticketstore.com as we speak. If you cannot be there live, of course, we will be broadcasting live, featuring the dulcet tones of yours truly on IWTV. That's 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And coming up on Saturday Night Love, back on its regular time slot. Saturday night, 8 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to look at some of the top rivalries in professional wrestling history, according to WWE. Anyway, so that's all coming up in the next few days. And a little bit later on tonight, I am going to unveil the complete lineup for Big Bad Boris' 40-hour Extreme, taking donations for the Edmonton chapter of the Canadian Mental Health Association. Going to unveil that a little bit later on in the night. We're supposed to have a little bit of a special guest, hopefully joining us as well. Maybe two, but I doubt it. But hopefully at least one. So stick around, and in a couple of minutes, we are going to go live with some AEW Dynamite and a bunch of other stuff. So thanks for coming, and stick around. Good evening, it's time for AEW Watchalong with Boris. Da, 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 da.
If you need a feature, you just go Dynamite, jazz hands, it's Dynamite time with Boris.
The ring's all set, the lights are bright, so settle in, it's Wednesday night. With matches stacked, the action's prime. AEW's love is Dynamite time, and with Big Bad Boris, we're ready to roll. Let's kick off the night and rock and roll. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Let's kick off the night and rock and roll.
Yes, indeed, it is time to kick off the night and rock and roll. AEW Dynamite Watchalong is on the air here on the Love Wrestling Network. My name is Big Bad Boris, and we are off and running as Excalibur goes through what we're going to see on the big broadcast tonight. I just finished the pay-per-view maybe half an hour ago. And in fairness, a lot of the pay-per-view I didn't have my full attention on because I was working on stuff for the 40-hour stream. So I missed a lot of it. I know what happened, but I didn't really give it my full attention, except for the main event. The main event I was able to watch in full, and I have some thoughts on the main event, but I don't know what my thoughts are, if that makes sense. There's something about that match and that whole situation that I can't quite put my finger on, but I'll explain that a little bit as we go on throughout the night. Spencer Love said that he would do his best to pop in at some point tonight, so I'm holding off on announcing the lineup for the 40-hour Extreme until Spencer gets here, and we'll do that during a commercial break or what have you as we go through. Oh, John Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly. I didn't know that was going down tonight. And we'll hear from what's left of Darby Allin. The main event was good. It was... I mean, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I'm obviously a big fan, big fan and supporter of deathmatch wrestling. The main event, the level of violence was a little bit extreme, but I think it also made sense for the story. They used that violence well to tell the story. I can understand, Fernando, where you're coming on that, because it was at times a little egregious, but like when I watch a deathmatch show, I know what I'm signing up for. I know I'm going to get a deathmatch show, and AEW kind of they upped the level of the violence on this. Again, I think it worked for the story. I don't want to be a hypocrite, but I think that somebody maybe needs to save Darby Allin from himself. Now, in fairness, Darby's been doing this stuff for years. I remember back on the independent scene, he had a feud with the name's escaping me. He's in NXT now. He's Canadian. Ethan Page. He had a feud with Ethan Page on the independents that was very violent, and he's been relatively injury free to the best of my knowledge. But I think somebody might need to save him from himself a little bit. But nonetheless, I thought the storyline made sense. I usually like the title match to go on last, but I think it would have been hard for Joe and Hangman, which is a fine match on its own. It would have been hard to follow that, so I think they made the right call going with that the way that they did. Mercedes Moné getting another belt, and then another one. I think she's up at 12 now. I got some thoughts on that, too. I mean, how many of these is she going to go back and lose? And how many of these are they going to strip her of and she's going to mail them back? But I mean, that's something we worry about another day. And right now, just, we use this for what it is. So. Oh, the camera's caught up with Hangman Adam Page. After the oops, turned their back on the Hangman. The doctor needs Hangman to sit down, slow his roll. You know what, Fernando? I've been talking about this with a lot of people. Oh, and also I want to, yes, congratulations to the Blue Jays. Back to your comment. I think the Dodgers are beatable. The Dodgers were a wild card team. They finished, I believe, with a very, very similar record to the Jays. I think the Jays might have had one more win than they did. I think the Dodgers are beatable. It's not going to be easy. I think it might go 7. And if the Jays can get decent starting pitching, decent bullpen, and they can keep getting contributions from the lineup 1 to 9 like they've been getting so far in the playoffs, I think they have a chance. It's not going to be easy, but I'm excited about it. I'm kind of sad that I'm going to miss watching Game 1 live, but we've got a fabulous LPW show coming up on Friday. So if there's any good reason to miss Game 1 of the World Series, it is what we got going on Friday at the Rec Room. But I think they're beatable. And I'm crossing my fingers and my toes and the couple of hairs I got left on my head and hoping for the best. So opening up, we got a 6-man tag, it looks like, between the Oops and the Hurt Syndicate Business Raider Experience. Oh, I want Spencer to show up. I want to go through the lineup of what I've put together for the 40-hour Extreme. I think is going to be a lot of fun. I keep psyching myself up, or psyching myself out, I should say, a lot. because it's a long time. It's going from 10 p.m. Mountain on the Friday, November 14th. 10 p.m. Mountain, it starts Friday the 14th. And it goes until 2 p.m. Mountain on Sunday the 16th. So I'm a little bit stressing myself out about this. Like, I have to eat and be relatively cognizant of my brain. So we'll see how this all goes. But what we've got lined up is, I think, pretty fun. And I'm excited about it. Fernando, do you know what I think they should do with the trios titles? Is they should just quietly put them in a corner somewhere and forget about them. I don't like trios titles. Trios titles are cool in Mexico, and trios titles aren't cool anywhere else. And there's too many, and now with them adding the women's tag titles, there's just too many goddamn titles everywhere. But yeah, if you get a chance to be there on Friday for LPW 42, or if you have a beautiful IWTV subscription, definitely check out the event on Friday night. It's going to be really good. That's the thing. I'm not a coffee person. I do not drink coffee. I think coffee is disgusting. However, I am a big energy drink person. So I'm going to be keeping a tally of the energy drinks that I'll be consuming. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Zach and all of the folks over at Quizplex. I don't think he'd mind me saying Quizplex raised $192 last night that they're going to donate to my charity stream. I appreciate Zach for doing that, all the folks who played and participated, and most importantly, all of the folks that donated. I love and appreciate that you've done this, and that's going to push us to, I believe once it's all put in the kitty, as they say, that's going to push us to just about $500. And my goal is $1,250. And I'm hoping we can smash that. I set the goal lower than I wanted to. I was trying to be cautious. I didn't want to set a big goal and then have it not go anywhere close and then me look silly. So I'm hoping we can take the goal and smash that. But yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. And we'll talk more about that hopefully when Spencer's able. I know he's doing the U-Haul thing for Ring Crew tonight. So he said he would try to be here. Zach Pride has a cold and was on cold medicine. So he said he would try to pop by, but I'm not sure if we're going to see him either. But nonetheless, you got me, and that's, you could do a lot worse. I don't know. They've really kind of painted themselves into a corner with this whole Mercedes thing. Like her having the 57 belts, kind of, I think it lessens the importance of the TBS title, if that makes any sense. And if she loses the TBS title, she still come out with 11 other belts that mean nothing to the AEW audience other than the ROH one that she won at the pay-per-view. So I don't know. I think they've kind of painted themselves into a corner with this one, and it's going to take some sort of creative situation to get themselves out of it. Looks like we got some sort of DC Comics branding going on the ring and on the barricades. I don't know much about what that's all about, but branding is branding. What else did I want to talk about? I feel like there's other things that I wanted to talk about, but I can't think of any of them. Oh, well, it'll come back to me at some point during the evening. Back to a regularly sized 2-hour show, which is good. I got a busy few days coming up, but I need my sleep. We got the LPW CWS show tomorrow night. If you're in the Edmonton area, it is at the Rec Room, South Edmonton Common. It is $10 a head to get in, and we got a fun lineup tomorrow. We've got something that we like to call the imitation game that we do every Halloween, where we have our competitors mimic, dress up, do a Halloween type thing. So tomorrow night will be Rob Van Dam, portrayed by Nick Shostastik, taking on Jeff Hardy, portrayed by T.Y. Jackson, which he's done before. There's a big elimination style. I think it's a 5-on-5, I want to say. I should have this in front of me. I apologize. A 5-on-5 elimination style tag match, and I believe William Taylor's defending the title as well. So yeah, all that $10 a head. So if you want some cheap, fun entertainment on a Thursday night, definitely come and check that out. If it was anybody else other than Kyle Fletcher, I would say yes, because I'm a big fan of Mark Briscoe, especially since his brother passed away. You know, I've been a big fan of the Briscoes for years and years and years, like decades, really. Big fan, big supporter, and seeing the way that after Jay passed away, how Mark's kind of been given the ball and run with it and had a really good run in ROH and in AEW. Anybody else, I would say yes. I'd like to see it. When Mark won the ROH title, I would have liked to have seen him have a longer run with it. But Kyle Fletcher, they're really trying to build into their next thing. And I think they've done a little bit too much damage to him already in terms of some of the booking, with him taking some losses when they're trying to build him up into the next thing. But it's a slow build for Kyle Fletcher, so no. I don't think that he should have won the title. If it was anybody else other than Kyle Fletcher with that title and Mark Briscoe, I would have said yes. But Kyle Fletcher, we're building into the next big thing. We're in commercial. I paid zero attention to this match. Oh, I got to do that thing I like to do. I paid zero attention to this match. I'm sure it's been lovely. Oh, I'm also very sad. If you look in the back corner, that's a digital picture frame that I found a few months ago. And I put what we like to call around here the Canadian flag on it, which, of course, is this picture here of Sheik Akbar Shabazz at a McDonald's in Saskatchewan after some substances. And I had that on that picture frame, just that picture, for months, and the picture frame appears to have died. So I'm going to have to go back there and unplug that picture frame and take that out of there and put something else in its place. So I apologize that we don't have the flag behind us as we always usually do, but nonetheless, we will carry on and carry forth. I'll also tell you a little bit later about what we're having, what I'm having for dinner after the show tonight. Very excited. But again, yes, LPW 42, Life, the Universe, and Everything, a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference, I guess. Coming up Friday night at the Rec Room, 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern on IWTV if you can't be there. And then, of course, Saturday night on Saturday Night Live, we're going to take a look. WWE put out a top 25 rivalries in wrestling history DVD a number of years ago. And it's kind of fun to pop that in. The whole thing's 2 hours and 50 minutes, so we're going to cut to the chase and maybe go for the top 10 or top 12 the last hour or so and see what they've deemed the top wrestling rivalries. So that'll be Saturday night over on Twitch, 8 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Is MC McDonald's? Yes. McDonald's, there's one on every block, one on every corner. Yes, McDonald's, very, very popular. I do like me some McDonald's. It doesn't agree very well with, as you can tell by looking at me, I like me some McDonald's. It doesn't always agree with my tummy, but, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. We're back from commercial. Our opening bout, 6-man tag team bout, the Oops against the Hurt Syndicate Business Viking Raider Experience. I like the way the seating bowl looks in this venue with that hard camera, that all those fans behind it. Looks good. I wonder if we'll see them come back to they came to Western Canada 2 years ago. They did Calgary and Edmonton, and I'm not sure they might have done Winnipeg as well. But they didn't come around this year, so I'm hoping we get to see them again soon. I think they kind of struggled with the size of the building they were in last time they were here, so it was a bit cavernous. But I'd like to see them come back and run in the same building that TNA ran in. I think it'd be really intimate. The crowd would be really hot, and it'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, heel Joe. I'm always down for Samoa Joe regardless, but heel Joe, never a bad thing. You got to think that he might be in kind of the twilight of his career as well. We're talking about AJ Styles retiring next year. John Cena hanging it up right away. I wonder how much longer Joe's going to be wanting to do this. I'm not sure how the body's feeling, how he's holding up. Is this a title match? I didn't remember them coming out with the belts, but again, my attention to detail is not exactly the greatest thing ever in the world. MVP's been wrestling a lot more lately too, which kind of surprised me. I'm also starting to like Brian Danielson on commentary a little bit more. He's growing on me. Joe said he's got 2 more years left in him. Yeah, that's cool. Make a few more bucks going on a final retirement run. I think he's got a body of work that he should be very proud of. I also think he doesn't need me to tell him that. Oh, and Hobbs makes the save. Oh, and now we're going to get the big meaty men. The big meat man slapping the meaty meat man meat. I don't know. It's a hoss fight. Oh, trying to lock in the full Nelson, but Hobbs just too big, too strong. I still can't believe TNA has no TV taped after their biggest show of the year for, I think, like 4 weeks or something. I don't understand if that was by design, and if it was by design, why they would design it that way. But again, what do I know? The answer is nothing. Oh, we're balling. Ooh, Hobbs is a big, strong boy. Oh, Bobby Lashley, a also big, strong boy. I love a good sit-out jawbreaker like that. Oh, Ricochet. Well, apparently the Hurt Syndicate and what are they called? The Desire, the Greatness, the what are they called? The Enticement. Damn it, what are they called? Whoever they are. Their issue with the Hurt Syndicate Business Raiders is not over. That's it, the demand. I knew I'd get it eventually. It's not like I watch the goddamn show every week. And the other one, too. Well, the Hurt Syndicate not happy about what's gone on here tonight. And I can't blame them, really. Oh, Tony Schiavone's in the ring. Look at this. The pink kicks on Tony Schiavone. Tony wants answers. You owe this to Tony. Look at Shibata. Still a good promo. Always was. You can't say the SH word on television. Screw your local sports team. Oh, look at Powerhouse Hobbs. He's doing the Tommy Rich thing where he steals the promo. Hits the high spot. It's an old ECW reference. Samoa Joe has spoken. The oops head to the back as we move on AEW Dynamite. Oh, it was a record-breaking weekend. We see the CEO arriving with a plethora of bare-chested gentlemen carrying all of her gold. Oh, here's Renee with the women's champion. What does she have around her neck? Is that like a necklace or some sort of therapeutic device? What a weird promo. Back up. Back up, lady. It's a nice sweater vest on Renee Paquette. She looks like a teacher. When is Full Gear anyway? Live on pay-per-view at some time I missed. I could really do without the goddamn DraftKings ads. I'm so over the whole sports betting thing. The crown is mine. I love how that thing on the screen didn't say when the pay-per-view was. Anyway. All right, we're going into commercial. Hang out. We're going to be right back. All right, we're still in commercial, but I smell popcorn and I'm worried that I'm having a seizure. So if I keel over, somebody call 911. Yeah, weird. Like the window's open here in Big Bad Boris World Headquarters, but I don't know. Anyway, as I've said numerous times and will say numerous more times, we have got LPW at number 42 coming up this Friday night. Tickets available right now on Tixer.com. If you live here in the Edmonton area, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 o'clock doors. This show is going to be, I don't like the term banger. I feel it's overused. We need a new term. But if banger is a thing, then that's what it's going to be. And if you are not in the Edmonton area, you can check us out on IWTV, bell time 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern. Saturday Night Love will feature some of the greatest rivalries in wrestling history. That should be a lot of fun. And of course, November 14th, 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we kick off Love Pro Wrestling presents Big Bad Boris' 40-hour extreme, taking donations for the Canadian Mental Health Association. More details on that later, hopefully when Spencer Love arrives and we can reveal the lineup. In the meantime, here comes what's left of Darby Allin. Also, what do we think of gray-haired Sting? I thought it was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about like the little bit of black in that they put in the beard, but like gray-haired Sting, I'm kind of on board with that. Darby walking very slowly to the ring, wearing what looks like something somebody would wear in a Star Wars movie. With his AEW flag. John Moxley's just a bully. He's a coward. He's a little bitch. Let's see what Dole Darby Allin has to say. Yeah, that's a very Star Wars looking jacket Darby's got going on here. He ain't stupid. Da, 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 da. Eric, we were talking about this a little bit earlier when we came on the air. I don't think Blue Jays in 4, but I do think that the Dodgers are beatable. Like I was saying earlier, they were a wild card team with a record very, very similar to the Blue Jays. I think if the Blue Jays get decent starting pitching and the bullpen hold their end up and we get production from the 1 to 9 and the lineup that we've been getting during the playoffs so far, it's not going to be easy, but I think that we could do it. And this is the only thing bigger than the Blue Jays winning the World Series for me would be the Calgary Flames winning the Stanley Cup. And that ain't happening anytime soon. So I'm hoping that they can pull it out. This would be a great thing for baseball in Canada, and it would make me really happy. Oh, we got Luchasaurus and Jungle Jack. With a vignette recapping their match they had at whatever that pay-per-view was called. Wrestle Dream is what it was called. So yes, stick around. They should let Space Monkey out there. I mean, if there's one thing I love, it's some Space Monkey. I should just do 40 hours of Space Monkey. All right, we're back to the ring. And we are awaiting the arrival of somebody. It is the Megasis, Megan Bain. Oh, this is like a giant 86-woman tag team fiesta. Penelope Ford, I assume that's like what's that, a Harley Quinn thing going on, I guess? I don't know. Yes, this is a 8 woman, I think it is, tag match. And they're supposed to announce the brackets for the women's tag team titles as well tonight, which I know a lot of people are excited about. There's been a lot of talk about who should throw out the first pitch, like the ceremonial pitch for Game 1 of the World Series. I think that they should fly in Munenori Kawasaki and let him do it, because he is legendarily popular in Toronto, and I think that would be exciting and get the crowd going. I mean, that place is going to be electric. Like I said, the only thing that could keep me or make me miss that game is an LPW live event, which we do have on Friday night. So unfortunately, I won't be able to watch game one live. I'll be following along on my phone, but we got a whiz banger of a live event on Friday night. But yeah, the Sky Dome or the Rogers Center, whatever you want to call it, gonna be a rocket. I want to see who the brackets are first before I decide who I want to see win the tag team championships. I mean, I don't want to say anything that's out of school, but I'm not a big fan of women's tag team champions, and it's not anything against the women. It's just like WWE did it, and it was cool and fun because it was the first ever kind of thing, and they had, first ever women's tag team champions. But then, the bloom comes off the rose, and they realize, oh, we have to book for this thing now all the time, and it kind of gets thrown by the wayside. And I think that's the same opinion I have with the women's tag team championships is what I have with the trios tag team titles. It's cool when it first comes in for a few minutes, and then, we have to book for this thing all the time now, and it just kind of becomes an afterthought. So, not saying that's what's going to happen with these ones, but I mean, time's going to tell. So it's Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne and Julia Hart and Sky Blue against Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron, who have matching gear, so one would assume they would be a tag team of some sort. Here comes Queen Aminata. Yeah, Queen Aminata just showed up. Like, I don't know much about her, but she just kind of showed up on, I think it was Ring of Honor, just kind of out of nowhere. I don't know if she worked indies. I don't know who trained her. I don't know where she came from, but yeah, just kind of showed up and started to make a lot of noise right away. So I got to do some research on that. Jamie Hayter is going to round out this. Let's see. A duo is 2. A trio is 3. What's 4? Quintet. This quintet for this women's 8-woman tag team title match. Quintet? Quartet? I don't know. Dictionary.com is my friend. All right, we are set to get underway. Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale are starting us off. Yeah, we got a battle royal. We got a ladder match. We got an I Quit match. The tag team titles are on the line. We got all kinds of stuff going on at LPW 42 on Friday night. You definitely want to check this out. Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron working like a well-oiled machine. Oh, Lord, the Calgary Flames and the Montreal Canadiens are getting ready to start. The Flames are not starting off their season exactly in the way that I was hoping. They are 1-6. The only silver lining in a 1-6 start is that their one win was over the godless Edmonton Oilers. So at least that's something that I can be happy about. But everything else is... So if Spencer doesn't show up, I do promise before we go off the air, I will give the full lineup for the 40-hour Extreme. I just thought it'd be fun to have him here so he can see what I'm doing on his channel. There's bodies everywhere. Here comes Jamie Hayter and her retro look. Elbows. Oh, we got to talk about what I'm having for dinner later, too. Maybe the next next commercial break, we'll do the dinner gimmick. I know people. I pretend that people care what I'm having for dinner. Megan Bain. Big dive. Ooh, Penelope caught her right in the face with a knee on that moonsault. Cost of doing business, I guess. All right, as promised, we're going for dinner. We're going for commercial. You can understand what I'm thinking about. So let's discuss what old Big Bad Boris is having for dinner.
What's for dinner? Let's find out. Something tasty, there's no doubt. Boris is hungry, he's ready to eat. Then off to bed, his night's complete. What's for dinner?
What's for dinner? I found out a couple of weeks ago. I did not know this, but Mrs. Boris, my lovely betrothed better half, she makes a hell of a pork chop. We haven't had pork chops, I don't think, ever in the almost 5 years that we've been together. But she made pork chops, and they were fabulous, dynamite. No pun intended. So I requested tonight. I'm like, hey, can we do after Dynamite? Can we do the pork chop thing? Which you can take however you want. That's what the kids call it now. Do the pork chop thing. Hashtag pork chop thing. So she is going to diligently prepare for me some pork chops and rice that will be ready at the conclusion of tonight's Dynamite. My salivary glands are currently working in anticipation of said pork chops. That's it. That's what's for dinner. A lot of fast food commercials on the AEW. Little Caesar. Now we got some KFC going on. I like KFC. KFC also doesn't agree with my stomach. It's greasy as hell, but man, when you want the KFC, nothing else will do but the KFC. Man, I gotta start eating better. I'm pushing 50, and yeah, it's gonna get bad. It's gonna get ugly for your old pal, Big Bad Boris. All right, we're in commercial. Stick around. We're gonna be back right away. And look at that. We're back right away. I guess the dinner conversation went longer than I thought. We are back to the 8-woman tag match. It appears to be a chaotic mess of chaos. Julia Hart doing the Undertaker walk. Oh, that's a good trivia question, actually. You know what? I should save that. Because before The Undertaker was The Undertaker, he was Mean Mark Callis in the NWA/WCW, whatever you want to call it. And Mean Mark Callis did that move, the hold the wrist, walk the top rope, big forearm, and it had a name. He had a name for it. And I'm gonna save that and give that to Zach for a Quizplex, because that's a question I don't know if anybody would get the answer to. Willow charging the corner. Willow Nightingale is handling all of the business right now for her team. Leaping Enziguri from Harley Cameron. Yes, I'm sad about the demise of the picture frame. I'll have to pull that down there and find some other sort of artistic piece of business that I can put up there. Hashtag artistic piece of business. Into the cutter, my goodness. Double stunner into the double drew. That was kind of cool. I'm not mad at that. Muscled up Willow Nightingale. Uh-oh. Right down on her business on the top turnbuckle. Oh, is this not an 8-woman tag? I just was wondering why she was beating up her own teammate. Is this 4 different tag teams and not an 8-woman tag? I thought this was an 8-woman tag, and I was like, why is... Okay, well, this is on me for not paying attention. I thought that this was an 8-woman tag, and I was wondering, I was like, why did she just turn heel? But no, it is... Yeah, that was a 4-team tag match, and I'm just dumb. So don't listen to me. Now, are you going to do the bracket thing now? It would make sense to do the bracket thing after the women's tag team match, but... Oh, they select their first round opponent. Okay. Again, a lot of the stuff I should be paying a little bit more attention to. She's going to make the pick. Sky Blue and Julia Hart, the Sisters of Sin, who are in the Triangle of Madness because there's a lot of names of things. I swear that it doesn't have on the screen at the top of the ramp in the entranceway, it's got full gear, but I swear it has the time, but doesn't have what day it is. Maybe I'm just not paying much attention. Oh, here's the Young Bucks. They're poor. They're broke. Oh, Tony. Why would you look right at the fucking camera like that? Why is he looking at the camera? this Saturday against the Young Bucks and FTR. Well, things just got interesting. All right, up next, we got Jon Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly coming up, I believe, after the commercial break. That is exactly correct. Stick around. We'll be right back with that match, baby. All right, I got a question. Answer me in the chat. Oh, wait. This is not Kyle O'Reilly and Jon Moxley. It's looking like we've got Mercedes Moné. Is it too early for Christmas television commercials? Oh, God, there's a table with a cake on it. I wonder what's going to happen with the cake and the table. But, yeah, is it too early for Christmas commercials? Yay or nay? Are they going to mention WPW? Well, they did mention WPW. Well, there you go. At least they get a mention. They get a mention on TV. Maybe that's in like the deal for that. Now, are all these dapper gentlemen going to come out with all her titles? Apparently, the answer is yes. Nick Shostastic should be in this lineup. Oh no! The puppet! Oh, we're going to do the CEO dance. This is odd. And here comes the CEO, and she does not look happy at the puppet. Oh, all her Shotstastics are heading out. Okay, we're going. Shit. Now everyone's going to think that that is Harley Cameron, but it's not Harley Cameron, is it? It's Chris Statlander, isn't it? You can't talk to Renee that way. Maybe she can. I don't know. She called us marks. No. That's pretty funny. I don't hate this, actually. You know what? Yeah, I don't hate this. It seems like the kind of thing that I would hate, because I hate a lot of things. This is the most that people have talked about Ultimo Dragon in a long time, and I think it's good. We should talk about Ultimo Dragon more. Oh no, the puppet went into the cake. It'll never come off. Oh God, the humanity of it all. Oh, it is Harley. I thought it was going to be Chris Statlander. Well, I guess I don't know anything about booking. Oh, Chris Statlander was there. Maybe I know something about booking after all. At least the cake icing matches her outfit. She's like, through the table and the cake. This is why we can't have nice things in professional wrestling. All right, I'm going to make you a deal. If Spencer doesn't show up by 7:30, We'll at 7:30 we'll do the big reveal of the entire schedule of Big Bad Boris's 40-hour Extreme. Spencer said he would try to pop on in between getting the ring truck for the big shows coming up in a couple of days. So if he's unable to make it by 7:30, we'll drop the knowledge. All right, we got a Wrestle Dream recap. Oh, Jon Moxley. What do you have to say for yourself, John? Jon Moxley. Okay. Not sure where we go from there, but oh, the conglomeration have a new entrancy video. Ishii's playing the piano. Oh, it's like a sitcom entrance or sitcom opening video. Oh, look at this. Nonsense. No, I don't want Kyle O'Reilly's entrance. I want more of this video. I think they might have released this on the social medias, but I missed it. But yeah, I'm okay with that. Where's Kyle going? Oh, he went to get Roddy, who is still wearing his Paragon shirt. Roddy will come around. Don't worry. Conglomeration is okay. All right, here comes Jon Moxley from outside of wherever it is they are in San Antonio, Texas. Pardon me for a moment while I tweet. All right, Jon Moxley making his way to the ring. I wonder what the status is on the pork chop situation. All right, I'm going to see if we can make this work. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, you're live on the internet. We just want to know how the pork chop creation is coming along.
Oh, it's way too early to get the pork chop creation going.
Oh, so we haven't even started yet.
No, it takes in total like 17 minutes, and I want it to be kind of fresh for you.
Oh, okay. So we're checking in too early.
We are checking in too early. Maybe check in like 20 to 8,
All right.
quarter to 8.
Sounds good. We'll check in back then.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. I love you.
Love you too.
Okay.
People want to know what's going on with pork chops. And by people, I mean me. Anyway, Kyle O'Reilly, John Moxley. So 7:45-ish Mountain Time, we'll get the pork chop update. 7:30, we'll do the big reveal of the lineup for the 40-hour Extreme to raise money and awareness for the fine folks at the Edmonton chapter of the Canadian Mental Health Association. So lots of stuff coming up, so stick around. Yeah, they're talking about the main event of the pay-per-view, and I thought the finish was kind of weird too. Like after all of that, the sharpshooter or the Scorpion Deathlock is what did it. I thought that was kind of like, I thought he might have done the sharpshooter with the flag around the neck, or even as silly as this sounds, maybe grabbed a piece of glass from the fish tank and tried to use that to make him quit. I thought the simplicity of the Scorpion Deathlock was kind of interesting. The fish tank kind of made me laugh just because it gave me happy flashbacks of my early tape trading days back in the late 90s and early 2000s, and getting a hold of all those old IWA and Big Japan and FMW crazy deathmatch shows with the piranha fish tank and the cactuses and all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of a fun throwback to that to me, and it makes me want to try to. I don't have much of that stuff. I did in my tape trading days, but I don't have a lot of it now. All those tapes are gone. Everything I've got is digital now. So I want to see if I can go back and find some of that stuff, because it was just silly nonsense fun. And I'd like to watch that stuff again. That'd be a good SNL, actually, to go back and watch some of the weird 90s Japanese death matches. Also, a programming note again, this Saturday, Saturday Live at its regular time on Saturday, 8 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Eastern, looking at some of the top rivalries in pro wrestling history. The following week, there will be no SNL. We are preempted. Pluggo is going to be doing some post-show coverage of the Saturday night's main event. And so no SNL. Hello, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. And yes, we are doing awesome and having a lot of fun. We're in commercial now. Yes, I got really big into the tape trading in the late 90s and early 2000s. So I tried to track down as much of that crazy, wacky stuff. And I was a big fan of FMW. I think it's kind of a tragic story in wrestling in a weird way, but also trailblazing in a lot of the stuff that we still see today. But yeah, some of the FMW stuff was a lot of fun. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. So yeah, we're in commercial. So I'll pay the bills, as we like to say again. LPW number 42 is coming up this Friday night, 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern at the Rec Room here in South Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Tickets available at Tixter.com. If you cannot be there live, you can watch along on IWTV featuring the commentary stylings of yours truly. Saturday night will be Saturday Night Love over on the Twitch. We're going to look at some of the top rivalries in professional wrestling history, and November 14th is the big one. Love Wrestling presents Big Bad Boris' 40-hour X-Stream. I will be streaming on Twitch live for 40 hours straight to raise money for the Edmonton chapter of the Canadian Mental Health Association, an organization that means a great deal to me. So that's all the stuff that's kind of going on in the next few weeks here in Love Wrestling World. Yeah, yes. Throw your comment up here. Sorry. Yeah, a lot of the stuff with I believe Shoichi Arai was his name that took over the company, and he had borrowed a lot of money and just couldn't afford to pay it back, and he ended up taking his own life. And yeah, there's the Dark Side of the Ring episode on oh my goodness, I'm blanking on the name now. This happens to me a lot. Onita, Atsushi Onita. There's a Dark Side of the Ring episode that's really interesting about him and his involvement starting FMW and his career and what happened with him and what happened with FMW. Kind of tragic, but some of the old footage in there you get to see is awesome. What happened with Hayabusa, very sad. Also, I think that Hayabusa was ahead of his time. And I think if somebody like Hayabusa came out, even a decade later, he would have been one of the biggest names in pro wrestling. But didn't just work out for him that way. But if you are a fan of pro wrestling and you want to see something really, really cool and ahead of its time in an older setting, check out some Hayabusa matches from FMW. Really, really awesome. Very, very talented guy. But yeah, a lot of that old Big Japan, FMW, IWA Japan stuff is silly and a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely check out if you've never seen Hayabusa before. Yeah, ahead of his time and super, super talented. All right, we're back from commercial. I should have went to the little Boris's room during commercial because I have to do that, and now I'm regretting my life choices, but that's okay. We will stick around as we continue with AEW Dynamite. We got Kyle O'Reilly, Jon Moxley doing the thing. Yeah, Bryan Danielson on commentary is really growing on me. I'm very, very nitpicky with my commentary, and I'm not saying the way that I do things is right. It's just the way that I do things. And when people don't do things the way that I do them, I can be a little bit critical. But again, it's not right what I do. It's just what I choose to do from the way that I see things. Yeah, him and Don Callis have some. And what's really good about Danielson and man, why can't I think of him? Nigel McGuinness as well. Is they've been through the wars, so they can add a layer of commentary that I can't do because of I'm not a professional wrestler. So they've been in there and they've done things, seen things, and been through things that I can't relate to. So they can add an extra layer of explanation and understanding and realism to commentary and I'm liking Nigel McGuinness a lot. He just kind of tweenish heels, but not overly heel. I think that Matthew Raywald on TNA, and I'm not saying anything negative about him as a person. I'm sure he's a great guy. I've enjoyed his work in the Vaudevillains, et cetera, but I think he heels it too much to almost that old school heel commentator where it's like, oh, he slipped on a banana peel kind of thing. So, but that being said, Matthew Raywald and the gentleman, Tom Hannaford, they have a really good thing going. I think you work together long enough with somebody, you just get into a rhythm. Like Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman have a really good vibe with them. They could maybe use a bit of a heel mixed in there too, but they've got themselves into quite the rhythm as well. King and JR were the best. King and JR, fabulous. Some really great commentary teams over the years. I mean, Gorilla, and I'm an older guy. I'm going to be 50 next year, so I've got some old school stuff that maybe some of the other guys haven't seen, but like Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse were great. Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan, fabulous. Even Vince and Jesse were great. Vince and Bobby Heenan were great. As much as Vince is creepy weirdo, and I don't like a lot of the things that we've heard, he wasn't bad, but at the same time, you got to understand for the product that they were putting out, he was perfect to do that. Yeah, Vince got fired up. Well, you got to push the story. That's what keeps the people coming back week after week after week. I very much agree with you. Moxley with the pile driver. He's going to drive his pile. But he flips over into the bulldog choke, and that might be all she wrote for Kyle. The Kyle driver, yeah. That reminds me of my good friend Keishi Matsunaga. That's his Twitter handle, the Kyle driver. I really have to use the bathroom. Oh, able to avoid the stomp. Chop block from Kyle O'Reilly. Ooh, big roaring elbow. Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly's good. Always been good. And we're getting to see him get to use a little bit more of his personality to kind of round him out. Because you could be really great on the mic and you could be really great on the ring, but if you can do both of those things, then your upside is a lot higher. Oh, he hit the referee. Why would you do such a thing? My God, Jon Moxley. Paul Turner has a family, and now the referees are all coming out to check to make sure he's okay. And we've called for the bell. The conglomeration or congloming. All right, I hate to do this because we're non-commercial, but I have to use the Little Boris's room. I'll be back in just a moment, so hang out, talk amongst yourselves, and I shall return. Well, they ended up going to commercial right when I went anyway, which is good. Death Rider's kicking out Moxley is actually interesting. That's not something that let me close the door here. Sorry. That is not something I would have thought of, but I just wonder if the Death Riders without Moxley, like who's going to be the mouthpiece? Who's going to be the leader? Who's going to be the one to handle the promo charisma duties? And can we buy babyface Moxley? I mean, in fairness, I think you can turn anybody babyface to heel if you do it the right way. I think Joe Hendry is going to be a massive heel in a year, maybe even less. But you take Moxley out of the Death Riders, who's going to be the one? I think Pac could do a decent job. He's pretty good on the microphone, but that's an interesting theory. Oh, we're jumping right into 6-man tag team action in 7 minutes-ish. We are going to I'm going to unveil the full lineup of Big Bad Boris' 40-hour Extreme, the marathon live stream to raise money for the Canadian Mental Health Association. So what do we got here? We got Claudio and Daniel Garcia and the Great Yuta against Roderick Strong, who is not a conglomerate, Mark Briscoe, and freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. What's our main event going to be tonight? What else we got coming up? I forget they still haven't done the brackets yet. So, oh yeah, Okada and Bandito is going to be the main. That's going to be good. Definitely looking forward to that one. I saw that announced. They made a really, really nice poster artwork type thing that was on the AEW socials as well. If you didn't see that, check it out. Yeah, Daniel Garcia is deceptively good at promos, so you're not wrong on that. I don't know about the leader, but yeah, them kicking him out, because that's a couple of big L's that Moxley's taken, where he lost the title at the big stadium show, and then he lost this match as well. So yeah, that's something to think about. That's some food for thought. Okada and Bandito. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Daniel Garcia and Mark Briscoe going toe-to-toe. See, Yuta I like in the Death Riders just because, like, he's... It's hard to explain for me to find the proper words, but he's just that he's easy to hate, punchable face and just a yippy little guy. But also, the Death Riders need a guy who can eat pins. They want to stay strong. You keep Claudio strong. You keep Moxley strong. You need somebody who, if they need to have them lose, that he could eat some pins. And I'm not saying that against Wheeler Yuta in any way, and I think that he's a heat magnet. It works for them. So. And he's got hair. I'm jealous. I used to have hair a long time ago. Yeah, that was a good story with him and Danielson. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I agree. Claudio Castagnoli. I remember in Ring of Honor when Claudio had long flowing locks. Great tag team with Chris Hero way back in the day. If you want to go do some searching through the interwebs to find some of those matches. Yeah, the Kings of Wrestling. Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli. Good stuff. Yeah. Great team. Had some great matches. Yeah, I think Chris Hero still shows up every now and then to working some of the indies, but he's the story of a guy that unfortunately should have been a lot bigger than he was. And not to say that he wasn't big. You know, he had a two great indie runs. He had a couple of runs in WWE. You know, I feel like if you're in WWE for a decent amount of time, even if you're not a main event guy, even if you're a mid-card guy and you got a run of a couple of years, like you made it. I don't know if that makes sense the way I'm explaining it, but like you got to the top of the mountain. I mean, I'm not a big WWE guy right now, but I was for, you know, the majority of my life. And if you had a run there, even in the mid card or the lower card for 2 or 3 years, you know, you made it to the top of our profession. All right, we're in commercial. It's 7:28. So I'm going to do it now so we can focus and watch the main event. The Calgary Flames are losing to the Montreal Canadiens, of course. So, all right. So on November the 14th at 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Love Wrestling presents Big Bad Boris' 40-hour Extreme. I'm going to stream live on Twitch for 40 consecutive hours. And I'm going to give me 1 second here. We're going to move this off of here for a second so you can see that bad boy in the bottom corner. I'm going to stream live on Twitch for 40 consecutive hours to raise money for the Canadian Mental Health Association, specifically here in Edmonton where I live. They're a fabulous organization that helps people who are struggling with their mental health. They have been there for me when I've needed them, and I wanted to do something to give back to them because they've been good to me. And I wanted to raise awareness about mental health, especially in men. You know, the stigma is that men have to be tough and all this nonsense and don't talk about it. It's okay if you're struggling. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to reach out for help. So that's why I'm doing this. So I decided to do 40 hours in a row because it's basically a full work week. We're going to do a full work week in a row. So I've got different blocks separated out during the 40 hours, and we're going to go over the entire thing right now. So this is part 1 of the schedule. So we're going to start November. All the times are Mountain Standard Times, local times, just so you're aware. Starting at 10 p.m. for 8 hours. The first 8 hours is going to be the WrestleMania 2000 all-day pay-per-view. When WWE did WrestleMania 2000, which I believe was WrestleMania 16, they did a cool all-day pay-per-view before the actual show. And they went through the history of WrestleMania up to that point, and they did a lot of hype for the WrestleMania 2000 pay-per-view. It was a really cool thing. I had a ton of friends over back in the day to watch it. And I got a hold of the video, and it'd be kind of fun to go back in time and watch that. So that's how we're going to start. From 10 p.m. November 14th till 6 a.m. November 15th will be the WrestleMania 2000 all-day pay-per-view. Then 6 a.m. November 15th to 8 a.m. will be Botchamania Roulette. What is Botchamania Roulette, you ask? We take all 500, I think it's 520 now, all 520 episodes of Botchamania. We load them on the big roulette wheel, we spin it, and whatever one it comes up, we watch that episode. We're going to do that for 2 hours of Botchamania Roulette, which would be a lot of fun because you get some of the older ones and there's some memories and things we may have forgotten. So that's the second block. After that, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. November 15th, we're going to do promo class. For 3 hours, we're going to watch some really, really good and really, really bad professional wrestling promos, which should be a lot of fun for various reasons. I love me a bad promo. I love bad anything. I know I don't mean to be negative. It's just, it's fun to watch stuff that's bad. You know, it is what it is. So promo class, the good, the bad, and the viral, 8 to 11, November 15th in the morning. Then 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., we're going to have the history of the CWC with Jack Pride. The CWC was the Canadian Wrestling Coalition. It was a independent company here in Alberta that I believe was co-owned or co-run by Jack Pride of Love Wrestling, and he's very, very passionate about it, and he wanted some time to show some matches and talk about the history of the CWC. So we're going to do that, and it should be really, really fun. After that, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. is going to be the history of Alberta wrestling with Judge Ben Omen. Judge Ben Omen, referee de jour Love Pro Wrestling, is very, very passionate about the wrestling scene in Alberta, and he's got quite a bit of knowledge of it, and he's got some footage that he has collected over the years, and some other stuff that famous and maybe lesser seen Alberta wrestling stuff. It'll be kind of fun for him and I to, kind of tell stories and BS around and have a little bit of fun. So that's 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on the 15th, which is the Saturday. This is one of the ones I'm really excited about. From 5 to 6 p.m. on Saturday, November 15th, we're going to be joined by Veda Scott, the fabulous Veda Scott, independent professional wrestling commentator de jour, and somebody I have a lot of respect for. And we are going to do drawing power, which is a thing they like to do where you get your sketchbook and your pencils and your crayons, and you draw a subject and you talk about the wrestling business. So that'll be from 5 to 6 p.m. on Saturday, November the 15th. This is crazy. I'm just looking at the schedule and I'm getting a little bit worried about it, but whatever. All right. Continuing on with Saturday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. is going to be Mrs. Pluggo versus Mrs. Boris round 3. A super quick bit of backstory on this. Pluggo, of course, is part of the media sector here on Love Wrestling. His lovely wife and himself did a newlywed game against myself and Mrs. Boris a while ago on Saturday Night Love, and they were victorious. And then we matched up Mrs. Pluggo and Mrs. Boris in Grey's Anatomy trivia as round 2, and Mrs. Boris, with a little bit of help from me, came out on top. So they're tied 1-1. So we are going to do the rubber match on the Saturday night from 6 to 8 p.m. on the 15th. Mrs. Pluggo versus Mrs. Boris in wrestling trivia. So it'll be interesting to see what they two of them have kind of soaked in through osmosis of professional wrestling, being kind of immersed in this life. That should be a lot of fun, and we'll see who reigns supreme. After that, from 8 to 10 p.m. on the Saturday night, it's going to be Quizplex Blitz. We're still working out the kinks of exactly what Quizplex Blitz is going to be, but I'm thinking it's going to be something along the lines of a Quizplex gauntlet match type thing. And we're digging up some folks who want to be a part of that and want to throw their hats in the ring to be the Quizplex Blitz champions. So stay tuned for that. At the conclusion of Quizplex Blitz from 10 p.m. on the Saturday till midnight on the Sunday, is going to be Thaddeus Archer's going to join us, and we're going to do the best of the Archer Report. The Archer Report, of course, amazing video feature that Thaddeus has been doing for many, many years through many different promotions. And apparently he's dug up some never-before-seen footage of the Archer Report, so we're going to be checking that out from 10 p.m. until midnight. Midnight on the Saturday until 3 a.m. is going to be with Spencer Love, who I thought was going to be here, but nonetheless, we carry on. The best of LPW Dealer's Choice. And what we mean by Dealer's Choice is we're hoping that you're going to want to watch a LPW match with us. You throw a few dollars into the donation pot and pick a match, and we will watch it. Spencer will talk about all the ins and outs of how it came to be, and I'll throw in my 2 cents about the commentary, etc., etc. We're going to do that deep in the middle of the night on the Saturday night from midnight to 3 a.m. From 3 a.m. to 10 a.m., it's our second longest block. It's 7 hours. We are going to do all 3 of the Oh My God home videos that WWE released. They did the top 50 moments of the WWE. Then they did the top 50 moments of WCW, and they did the top 50 moments of ECW. Of course, the WWE one will only be the moments up to when that video was released, but that's going to be 7 hours, and it'll be fun because it's going to be quick hits of things that happened in all those promotions. It'll be fun to kind of go back in time and relive those things. 10 a.m. on the Sunday, we are going to do a special 90-minute edition of the Brunch Gimmick. Normally, the Brunch Gimmick is on from 10 to 11 Mountain Standard Time on Sunday morning with Lawrence Cartier. Lawrence will be here to do the 90-minute special episode of the Brunch Gimmick. We'll be talking about whatever Lawrence wants to talk about. I don't know what my mental state's going to be by then, so hopefully I'll still be alive and coherent to talk with Lawrence. That'll take us to 11:30 a.m. on the Sunday, and then we've got something that I think is going to be really, really cool. Something that I'm excited about, and I'm very appreciative that he's letting us do this. Sunday morning from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for an hour is going to be CWS Live. The Clandestine Wrestling Society Training School will have a class in session at that point, and we're going to have somebody there with a camera, and we're going to watch the hour training session. We're going to get a live look in at the training session of the Clandestine Wrestling Society on the 40-hour Extreme. I'm really, really excited about that, and I want to thank again Michael Richard Blaze for allowing us to kind of be a fly on the wall and peek in what's going on during the CWS training session. I have no idea what's going on Dynamite right now, but we're focused on this. And then the final block, the final hour and a half, 12:30 p.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. on the Sunday, November 16th, the final countdown. Now, quite frankly, I don't know what the final countdown is going to be yet. I just thought it was a cool name. I have a couple of ideas. I'm hoping to do kind of an open house party type thing where we just get as many people who want to come and spend the last hour and a half with us to be there. So I don't know exactly what that's going to be, but that's going to be the last block, the final hour and a half of the 40-hour Extreme. So again, Big Bad Boris' 40-hour Extreme starts November 14th, 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Taking donations. You see the QR code on the bottom right there. Taking donations for the Edmonton chapter of the Canadian Mental Health Association. Something that means a great deal to me. That is what we got going on coming up in 3 weeks from Friday. I hope that you guys can tune in even for a few minutes here and there and maybe throw a few dollars down for a great cause. Just explaining all that, I'm exhausted, and in 3 weeks, I'm going to have to do it all. But yeah, super excited. Super excited about that as we see the Protostar Kyle Fletcher coming to the ring. I'm not exactly sure why he's coming to the ring, maybe to do some commentary or what have you, but I completely missed the Death Riders did something to Orange Cassidy. I missed all of that. So I apologize for not knowing what happened at that part, but we were going through what was going on Dynamite, or what's going on the 40-hour Extreme. Oh, it's promo time. He has dispatched Mark Briscoe, and now I assume he's moving on to bigger and better things. What does Mr. Fletcher have to say? I don't get the whole say my full name thing. Like, the microphone is not working. That's some indie bullshit right there. All right, we're coming up to... Oh, I just hit the microphone. That's very professional. I apologize for that. One more for the road. The delicious Pabst Blue Ribbon, the king of all beers. Oh, wait. Apparently, he might not be done with Mark Briscoe after all. But maybe Mark Briscoe could take that title off him and he can move on to literally bigger and better things. That's the second SH word. Gotta ice the balls sometimes. Don Callis, the heat magnet of the universe. I love it. There's no way Mark Briscoe's going to join the Don Callis family. Well, I guess we're not going to get that extra match between the Don Callis family, or sorry, between Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher. As we head towards our main event, we're in a commercial. I need to catch my breath just from explaining what's going on the Extreme. So hang out. We'll be back for the main event. Uno momento. All right, so we're heading towards our main event, but I just realized we should check in. Okay. They're revealing the brackets, but we're going to check in on the pork chops while they reveal the brackets. Oh, man. I haven't noticed this. Willow and Harley, Monet and Athena. Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail.
She didn't want to talk to me.
Is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
The whole internet wants to know how the pork chops are coming along. You have failed me. I'm just kidding. Love you. I'll see you soon. Mercedes and Athena is an interesting pairing, because if they're not going to win the whole thing, one of them is going to have to take a pin at one point. And who is that going to be? Judging by the fact that it's 10-2 and we haven't even got the introductions of the main event yet, it's going to be an overrun, and I want to go eat pork chops. Mina Shirakawa. Tekla. Where's Tekla from? I'm going to find out. Google is my friend. Austria. Okay. Okay. Let's get to the main event so we can get to pork chops. Here comes Bandito. Oh, yeah, I forgot Bandito's the ROH champion, too. Yeah, I stopped watching ROH over a year ago. I found I was watching it more out of habit and just because, to me, there's a lot of equity in the Ring of Honor name because I was around when it first started, and just that name, it rings quality for me. But, new ROH is not the greatest thing, but, there's still some value in that name to me. So I was watching it because of that. And then I realized, I'm watching this because of habit and not because I'm necessarily enjoying it. No disrespect to any of the talent that are competing there. So I took that out of my weekly viewing and I put in TNA, and I've been enjoying TNA for the most part. So here comes the Rainmaker. See, I don't know the title, because it was the Atlantic title and the other title that they combined into that one, and now he's the Unified Champion. But if I'm looking at AEW Champion and AEW Unified Champion, like, which one means more? There's just too many damn belts. Oh, they're going to stick with the action as long as it takes to delay me getting my pork chops and going to bed. I'm sure Ophelia can hear me complaining from here. All right, the fans are hyped. Here we go. I don't know if these two have ever worked on TV before. Maybe one of those CMLL Fantastic Mania shows in years past. I wonder if Cage Match, if you can search specific matches like that. You know what? I'm going to try it. Why not? Right, Boris? What happens if I search Okada Bandito? Let's see what happens. No items were found. Search for matches. Oh, here we go. Okay. Bandito. Okada. All right, we're testing the advanced search of Cage Match. And it no items. So unless I can't search properly, which is probably true, they've never worked. All right, let's focus on this. I'm stretching myself way too thin here. I assume Okada will have the height advantage. But, oh, I can smell pork chops. This is not fair. This is not a fair way to live, ladies and gentlemen. Bandito's mom is corpsing. Send for the man. Oh, I got a picture of the pork chops. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Oh, wait, hang on. I don't know if you can see the pork chops frying in the pan beautifully. That's not a great picture, but that's okay. Nice arm drag. I think Okada did a excursion to Mexico early on in his career, if memory serves me, but I might have him confused with someone else. Oh, they're going to go to commercial just to make me annoyed. All right. I got to use the little Boris's room. We'll be back for, I assume, the conclusion of our main event momentarily, so stick around. All right. Oh, sorry. We're getting ready to come back from commercial for our main event. Kazuchika Okada, Bandito, your Ring of Honor. Is there? I think only Okada's title is on the line in this match. It'd be interesting to see Okada lose that title. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think that'd be interesting. Yeah, I'd like to see AEW come back and run the same building TNA ran. I think they'd pack it full, and the intimacy of it, I think would be a hot crowd, because I was really surprised at Victory Road, the Friday, the TV taping, not as intense, but the crowd was really fired up on the Friday at the Victory Road show. I was really surprised and really enjoyed it. Bandito gonna fly like a missile. Yeah, I was thinking about Takeshita's schedule too, going back and forth between the States and Japan. Like, I'm not sure how long that flight is between the States and Japan, but it's got to be long. And he's a big dude to stuff himself in a plane like that. A lot of respect for that guy. Because I think he's under contract to 3 different companies. Because I think he's got a DDT contract, a New Japan contract, and an AEW contract. So I respect the hustle. Bandito on the top. Big frog splash on target. Okada gets the right shoulder up. Kyle Fletcher beat Okada? Why don't I remember that? I do like them putting the tweets, the X posts on the screen like that. I think that's cool. That's a very old school thing that a lot of companies did kind of when social media was really coming into its thing. But I don't know. I like it. It's engaging with your audience, and I don't know. I think it's good. Yeah, Saturday night should be a good show too. I forget they announced a match for that. I'm sure they'll plug it before we go off the air. Shoulder breaker. Okada says, I don't care if you need the doctor. It's time to put you down. Yeah, Hechicero not on the show tonight either. He's more of a Saturday dude anyway. Oh, tried to go for the Rainmaker. Gut wrench. X knee. And into the ropes. Looking for the 21 plex. Oh, and he hit it. Oh, he can't follow up. That shoulder is too damaged. Oh, Kata got the right shoulder up. Not enough of the body pinning down the shoulders for Bandito. Oh, I smell pork chops, baby. I got to tell you. That's the good stuff. A little bit of rice, chicken flavored rice. Yeah, I know rice is bad for you. Leave me alone. I'm an old man. I have nothing but rice. Into the turnbuckle. Yeah, Okada's got a scary vertical leap for a dude that big. Oh, Rainmaker into the inside cradle. Oh, Okada kicks out. It's 8:07. I should be eating pork chops right now. But this match has been really good. Woo. That looked good. Damn, girl. Ducks the Rainmaker. Oh, and he hits a Rainmaker of his own. Can Bandito do the impossible? X knee. Oh, he was way too far from the ropes to do the 21 plex. There's the Rainmaker. There's the 3 count. Kazuchika Okada retains the AEW, whatever fucking title he has. Those are the Unified Atlantic, whatever. I don't know. That was a good match, though. That was fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, super quick housekeeping before we call her a day. Friday night, LPW 42 in Edmonton. Tickets available, Tixter.com. Doors at 6, bell at 7. If you're not in the Edmonton area and you want to check out this massive show, we will be broadcasting that show live on IWTV. Bell times are frick. IWTV. Show begins at 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern. Saturday Night Love returns this Saturday, 8 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Oh, here comes Takeshita. I wonder what this is all about. 8 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Eastern, Saturday Night Love over on the Twitch. We'll be talking about the greatest rivalries in wrestling history, according to WWE. And of course, on November the 14th, it kicks off Big Bad Boris's 40-hour Extreme, raising money and knowledge for the Canadian Mental Health Association, especially here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Takeshita and Okada seem to maybe have a bit of a thing brewing here. That's going to be it for us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, spending your Wednesday night. We will see you guys on Friday for the big LPW show, and we'll see you Saturday for Saturday Night Love.